I was recently asked, what filmmaking gear do I use to make my YouTube videos? And when I sat and thought about it, I realized there's not really that much that I typically use. I have a few go-to items and they, for the most part, get the entirety of the job done. So let's dive in and look at my essential filmmaking gear for this year. The first and most critical piece of gear is my camera. My main camera is the Sony a7 III, and I absolutely love it. I've got a full video review linked here if you want to check that out, but in short, this camera does everything that I need. The mirrorless build is small, lightweight, and incredible for travel. Its full-frame sensor can shoot 4K videos for interviews just like this, and I can film up to 120 frames per second for stunning slow-motion B-roll. The camera takes incredible photos and really does everything that I need with it. It also comes in at an affordable price of just under $2,000, which is really incredible for a full-frame camera. Just last year, I made the swap from Canon to Sony, and I haven't looked back. I plan to stick with the Sony a7 III for at least the next year, if not longer. And if I do upgrade my camera in the future, I'll likely hang on to the a7 III for when I'm out traveling because of its small size. I've been working with only 2 lenses lately. I've got the Tamron 28-75mm f2.8, and I've also got the Sony 14mm f1.8. I'm only using 2 lenses right now because I made the swap from Canon to Sony, as I mentioned, and thus had to swap from EF mount lenses to E mount lenses. I was really worried about rebuilding my lens kit when I made the swap, but it really hasn't been an issue. Both of these lenses work perfectly for the work I do. I'll consider getting a telephoto lens in the future, likely a 70-200mm, but I haven't needed it for right now, so I don't have one yet. I'll typically use my Tamron at about a 40-50mm focal length when I'm shooting my interviews, and opening up to f2.8 gives me fantastic depth of field fall off of focus in the background. Looks really nice for interviews like this. The Tamron also works great for photography, giving me that variability between wider with the 28mm to more telephoto with the 75mm. The Sony 14mm is fantastic for wide-angle photos, landscapes, wide-angle shots, which can make rooms look a lot bigger if you're into real estate photography or videography. So this lens has been fantastic too, providing those wide-angle shots without too much distortion. I'm extremely happy with this lens kit, and it's allowed me to make my YouTube videos and do professional client work. I've got links to these 2 lenses down below. A tripod is critical for almost every shoot I'm on, and it's 100% necessary for me to make my YouTube videos. I'm using a tripod right now for my interview setup, and I do in every video I make. In this category, any tripod really will do, but I'm using a Davis & Sanford Pro Vista model, which is a reasonably priced tripod. You can find this model for about $160 on Amazon, which again, is really nice compared to some of the prices of tripods I've seen out there. A tripod's gonna allow you to shoot interviews, capture beautiful time lapses, or take photos with long exposures, like shots of the night sky and the stars coming down. A tripod will help you do all of that. This is definitely a piece of gear that I'm consistently using. Lighting is extremely important when it comes to making videos like this one. I light my scene for every sit-down interview that I do. Right now, I've got a big umbrella light right here that's casting light on my face, and that's the only light that I'm actually using for this shot. You can actually watch a video right here on how I built my home YouTube studio. You can watch me go through the steps of setting up the shot just like this. Right now, I'm using an eMart umbrella photography light kit. It's lightweight, easy to travel with, easy to set up, and does the job. This kit's gonna go for about $80 for 2 lights. Really a fantastic price to get you started with lighting. I'd highly recommend looking into lighting and getting your own kit if you're getting started. It is one of those things that will take your videos and your photos to the next tier. If you really want to start creating professional videos, you should invest in audio equipment. You can pick up a lav mic, a condenser mic, or a shotgun mic. Anything other than the onboard mic on your camera, that's just not gonna give you the crisp audio that you need in videos like this. For about 75% or more of my videos, I use the Blue Yeti USB condenser microphone. can actually see it right here. It's got such a rich sound and it's really easy to set up. You can plug it directly into your computer via USB and start capturing amazing audio right away. I've been using this mic for close to a decade and it really does the job for me. I absolutely love it. I typically will just set my laptop in front of me, plug the mic in, start recording, and then in post, I'll sync up the video from my camera and the audio from my mic, and I'm ready to go for the edit. You can find the Blue Yeti on Amazon for only $99. This is one of the best values on this list. If you are looking for a lav microphone kit, you can grab the Rode Wireless Go 2 mic kit for about $300 on Amazon. This is a super easy to use lav kit. It'll just clip on to whomever you want to mic up, and it works really, really nicely. So this is absolutely something to look into if you're shooting interviews with 1 or 2 people. The final piece of gear that I'm using this year is a camera gimbal. I typically use the DJI Ronin S for this, a piece of gear I've used for many years and I love, and they've recently put out a new version, the DJI RS3, which has a few new features. Gimbals like this allow me to stabilize my camera. I can move around and capture smooth B-roll. I can get some run and gun shooting out of the way by just grabbing my gimbal and being ready to go. Or I can get some smooth shots of homes. If you're into real estate videography, this is super important for that. Having the ability to toss my camera on a gimbal and have stabilized shots with minimal effort is priceless. I use this all the time for professional client shoots and they rave about the results. With the RS3, you can even lock your gimbal in place and use it as a tripod. The DJI RS3 runs for about $549 on Amazon. This is really a great price for a Steadicam. And I have to say, if you pick it up and start shooting for clients, it'll pay for itself very, very quickly. And I can't move on from this list without forgetting to mention my drone. I use the DJI Mavic Air. I've been using this drone for many, many years and it has stood the test of time. It captures incredible imagery. Now, the Mavic Air is getting a little bit old now, but there are newer versions that DJI has put out that still come in at fantastic prices. I'll put some links down below. The drone helps capture amazing aerial B-roll, stunning photography from the air, and again, if you're into real estate, photography and videography, it's really, really nice to get visuals of various properties. If you're looking to get into this space, this is a great drone to start with. And that's it. That's my essential filmmaking gear for this year. Sure, there's a lot of different things that you can look into buying, filters, lenses, cameras, there's a lot of choices, I totally understand, but if I had to pick a small chunk of gear to use for all of my production needs, these items would be on that list. So I've got links to all these items below. Let me know in the comments if you have questions about any of this, I'm happy to help. Go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon to get notified when I post, and we'll check you back in the next one.